The Austerlitz Gambit stands as one of the most brilliant demonstrations of military genius in history, revealing how Napoleon Bonaparte transformed apparent weakness into overwhelming strength at the Battle of Austerlitz on the 2nd of December, 1805. Facing the combined armies of Alexander I of Russia and Francis II, Napoleon confronted a numerically superior coalition force determined to crush French dominance in Central Europe. Rather than seeking safety in a purely defensive posture, he constructed an elaborate trap rooted in deception, psychological manipulation, and precise timing. In the days before the battle, he carefully studied the terrain around the village of Austerlitz, modern Slavkov-Uberna, recognizing that the Pratzen Heights dominated the battlefield. Instead of holding this obvious strongpoint, he deliberately abandoned it, creating the impression that his army was uncertain and overstretched. At the same time, he weakened his right flank and allowed reports of French exhaustion and vulnerability to circulate, reinforcing the illusion that he feared encirclement and retreat. This calculated display of fragility was designed to tempt the Allies into committing to an aggressive maneuver. The Allied plan, heavily influenced by overconfidence and internal disagreements, called for a massive attack against the French right with the intention of turning Napoleon's flank and cutting him off from Vienna. Convinced they were facing a retreating enemy, the coalition commanders shifted large portions of their forces away from the center, descending from the Pratzen Heights in dense columns during the early morning fog. Napoleon had anticipated exactly this reaction. He waited patiently, observing the thinning of the Allied center as their troops marched southward. According to legend, as the sun broke through the mist, the famous Sun of Austerlitz, he turned to his marshals and declared that the decisive moment had arrived. With impeccable timing, he ordered Marshal Soult's corps to advance directly toward the weakened Allied center and retake the Pratzen Heights. The assault was swift and disciplined. French infantry climbed the slopes with determination, striking the surprised Allied units that had left the heights insufficiently defended. The sudden French surge shattered the cohesion of the coalition army. By piercing the center, Napoleon effectively split the Allied forces into two disconnected wings, preventing coordinated resistance. The psychological impact was as devastating as the physical breakthrough. Commanders struggled to relay orders, units became disoriented in the fog, and momentum shifted irreversibly to the French side. Meanwhile, the French right, initially exposed as bait, held firm under intense pressure, buying the crucial time needed for the central counterattack to unfold. Once the Allied center collapsed, French forces exploited the breach with relentless energy. The northern wing of the coalition army was forced into retreat, while the southern wing, isolated and compressed, suffered heavy losses. Some units were driven toward frozen ponds under artillery fire, adding to the chaos and symbolic drama of the defeat. What had begun as an apparent vulnerability revealed itself as a masterstroke of operational design. The victory at Austerlitz was not merely tactical, but strategic in consequence. It effectively dismantled the Third Coalition, leading to the Treaty of Pressburg and reshaping the political map of Europe. The Holy Roman Empire would soon dissolve, and French influence reached its zenith. More than a battlefield success, the Austerlitz Gambit demonstrated Napoleon's extraordinary ability to integrate terrain analysis, intelligence, psychological insight, and disciplined execution into a single coherent plan. He understood not only how to move armies, but how to manipulate the expectations and emotions of his adversaries. By deliberately inviting attack, orchestrating apparent weakness, and striking at the precise moment of maximum enemy exposure, Napoleon secured one of his greatest triumphs and cemented his reputation as one of history's most formidable military commanders.